Hi, I welcome you all to this particular tutorial where we are going to talk about some top strategies related to IELTS. And yeah, so these are some simple strategies which can help you to score high in the IELTS test in your first attempt. Well, the first is uh, go for a strategy that works for you. You know, YouTube and internet is all filled with so many strategies. The first is to go with the strategy that works for you. We'll talk about first precision, then speed. Focus on precision first. Start with a diagnostic test and how you can take the diagnostic test. Focus on one section at a time and how it can help you to score high. Focus on one area of improvement at a time, like we'll talk about it. How do you focus on one single area of improvement? Use the right content, the authorized content, and make a corrections log. So let's go through all these strategies one by one. Now, the first point is identify the strategy that works for you. So if you go to internet or if you go to any of your friends or family members, they'll come up with so many different ways of clearing an IELTS test. But you have to find out which strategy works for you, right? You should be ready to do a little bit of experiment here and there. For example, for reading, some people say that read the questions first, others say read the passage first. Now, both of the ways can be right. It depends on what works for you. And that is why I say that first standardize and then optimize, right? First find out what works for you, then practice on it, right? Don't go with whatever strategy somebody suggests. It might not work for you. So first standardize, see what is the right strategy, and then optimize it by practicing it. The second point related to clearing IELTS or any other standardized test for that matter is to first work on precision, then work on speed. Like, for example, if you are learning to drive a car, would you like to focus on speed first or precision first, right? Your first goal would be to come home safe. Whether you come slow or fast, it doesn't really matter. Point is, you should come home safe. And for that purpose, precision is more important than speed at the initial stage. What people start doing is they really get hyped about speed and they try to do things fast. Speed is the result of doing the same thing again and again. So your goal should not be to do it fast, but to do it correctly. And when you do it multiple number of times, you automatically become good at it and you develop speed, right? So monitor your improvements and focus only and only on precision. Once you uh, do, once you become precise, once you know the right way, by practice you can develop speed. Start with a diagnostic test. Now, what is a diagnostic test and why do I suggest starting with a diagnostic test? The advantage of taking a diagnostic test would be that you would have a clear idea of your areas of opportunities, right? Do not start at random. When you start with a diagnostic, you can you can identify the areas of opportunities and you can work on them. So if you want to take a diagnostic, I can provide you one. Just book a one-to-one call with me and we can arrange a diagnostic test for you. Focus on one section at a time. Many times participants start working on full length tests. Don't take a full length test at the beginning. Just focus on one section. Like, for example, you can start with listening and reading first, which are input oriented skills. Master them and then go for reading and say speak writing and speaking, which are output oriented skills, right? So focus on one section at a time and master it. Focus on one area of improvement. Now, this is again important. Like, for example, when we talk about reading, what is the ideal sequence? Should you read the passage first or the question first? Identify what can be the best practices for reading. Are you struggling with reading speed or finding the right answer? Your reading speed is fine, but then when it comes to questions, probably you lose focus and you choose the incorrect option. In questions also, is it true false not given, or MCQs with which you struggle. So focus on one area of improvement. Similarly, for listening, for writing, for speaking, focus on one particular area of improvement that is given here. So you can check these. Yeah, the point is that you should start with just one area of improvement at a time. The next important point is use authorized content. There is so much of material available on internet. All the trainers talk about different strategies and use this book, that book. It is very important to use the authorized content. So what is an authorized content? What is a good content? Content used by winners, but customized and tailored according to your needs is the best content, isn't it? So, if you are suffering from a disease, you will definitely like to go to a doctor who has treated many patients, right? But would you take the prescription given to any other patient? No, you won't. You would go to the doctor who has proven skills of treating, but you would have your own prescription, isn't it? But what do people do? They sometimes use other people's prescription and think that they will be fine. Well, by chance, by luck, sometimes they get well also, and they think that that's the standard way of getting cured. But the right way is to use the content used by winners, but customized and tailored according to your needs and your requirements. The next point is related to corrections log. I have observed that people do not make many mistakes. People make the same mistakes many times. So you'll find that there are two, three standard, or you will find a pattern of mistakes that you commit. Let's say for in writing, you overthink, you do not plan properly, or you write long sentences. There might be some specific errors of grammar that you commit there. So if you make a corrections log, if you write down all your errors at one place along with the corrections, it becomes very easy for you to overcome those mistakes and turn your mistakes into milestones. So we have a set template, we have a specific template for writing corrections, and we use it to make sure that you convert your mistakes into milestones through revision. This is again a very very important point, and it is missed by many participants. Do the same test many times. Do not do many tests initially. What they do is they perform a test, they see that, oh, these are the mistakes, and then they start doing the next test. Do the same test many times. It will help you to generate a pattern that works best for you. When you do the same test the second time, the third time, you get to identify how you could have improvised upon your speed, precision. What are the things which are important? What are the things which are less important? Where should your focus be? How should you read the question, interpret the question? Why is one particular answer the correct answer? So, those things would be clear when you do the same test the next time, or the third time, or the fourth time. So use the, like for example, again taking the analogy of learning how to drive a car. Do you change the car and the road while learning how to drive a car? No, you drive the same car on the same road. But once you develop the skill to drive, you can drive any car on any road, isn't it? The same thing goes with this test also, right? If you want to learn the skills, use the same test, do the same test many times. Once you do one test correctly and once you understand the right strategies, you can do any test any number of times and you will get it right. So these are some strategies which have helped so many participants. If you want me to personally work with you and develop these skills and help you to learn these strategies and master these strategies, book a call with me and we will work together and we'll make sure that you score the desired marks in IELTS in your very first attempt. All the best to you and thank you so much.